My DoorDash people, how are we doing? It has been a minute. I have been quite busy lately, but I did want to talk to you about something that just came up on my DoorDash account. You guys may have came across it with other content creators. This video may be out there, maybe not. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. But just something that I did want to bring to you guys' attention, something you probably will eventually start seeing slowly but surely if they haven't rolled it out. Not a huge deal, but I could see where it can be a possible privacy concern. For me, I'm kind of on the fence, 50-50 with it. But as you can see, again, by the thumbnail here, when it comes to this so-called thing that's called driver insights. So DoorDash, it seems like DoorDash is tracking your movement based on your GPS location while you're signed into the app. And maybe they have it in the TOS, the terms of service or terms of agreement, that they can obviously do this. They obviously do it because they're tracking your GPS location when you are out picking up on the way to a delivery or at a delivery address. So it's already in play what they're doing, but it just seems like they have the information on how you brake and how you accelerate. It's one thing to track you for delivery reasons in the sense that you've picked it up to then notify the customer that you've picked it up and or you're on your way to pick it up. It's another thing that's okay to track you in the sense for the GPS part of the trip, just so the customer can see that you're on your way to them and you're not veering off or going in the wrong direction. And it's okay when you're at the actual drop-off point, and that's just to protect you, to make sure that you are dropping off at the right location or as close as possible. Sometimes you got to park and blah, 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 whatever. But all those things are actually okay. But with this whole braking and the way it works is, I guess they're tracking how hard you brake and how fast you accelerate. And now whether they're knowing how much exactly the miles per hour that you're driving, that part I'm not sure or not aware of. But somehow they're tracking your braking and your acceleration. While it's not like a big, huge deal because it is something that you can turn off. So when you first start seeing this, you're going to notice that it says that you can turn off that notification. That doesn't mean that they're not tracking you anymore. Now where it becomes a problem with me, and I'd like you guys to type down below how you feel about this so-called driver insight. It's more a safety thing that DoorDash is saying to just kind of alert you and let you know how your driving is, or whatever it is. And at that point, I just feel like, me personally, I feel like it's a privacy concern at that point. Couple of reasons with this that I feel it's a problem. It's for DoorDash as a company, all your concern should be is that the little drivers that you guys do have left, that we're out here accepting the orders that you send out. That's number one for DoorDash, that you all should just be focused on. Getting those orders picked up and getting them delivered. Obviously, you have these drivers out here wanting to pick up the orders and delivered within the amount of time that you suggested, or that you feel should be done within. So with that said, that should be all your concern on DoorDash's end, and not a concern about how hard I brake or how fast I accelerate. Me personally, I don't care how hard I brake, as long as I brake and I get to my stopping point, to be honest with you. Like, at that point, it's on me that how I decide to use my brakes. I'm obviously not skidding and hitting anybody all over the place, and obviously I'm not running around just pressing on the brakes hard. But that's my prerogative, how I want to brake my own vehicle in terms of stopping. Same thing accelerating too. I don't care if the speed limit is 50. I don't care if I floor it to get to 50. I get it, the safety part of making sure you don't speed and blah, blah, blah. But then again, that's on me. If I choose and decide to get a speeding ticket, that'll be on me. But I don't care how hard I press that gas. If I haven't reached 50 yet, I will floor it and get to 50. And at that point, I will go ahead and I'll let off. Now, is it the smartest decision to do? Because you'll just sit there and burn gas just to then slow down or have to brake? Probably so. It'd probably be pretty dumb. But I'm just saying, I'm still saying that's no concern of DoorDash's, how I brake and how I accelerate. And that's why I feel like DoorDash has went too far. You're taking it too far. I feel like DoorDash needs to stay in their lane, and this is directly to DoorDash. This is just my opinion, that you need to stay in your lane and just get orders sent out. Like, you have a bad enough time and troubles getting orders with the proper base pay to these drivers. I mean, I'm doing okay, but you have a lot of drivers out here that's not making a good base pay, to where we are then going after the customers for tips and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't blame them. At this point, I don't blame them anymore, because it's you guys. But instead of putting the time and energy and focusing on, hey, how do we get the base pay higher for these guys? And there's only so much you can do as a company, being DoorDash and or Uber Eats and such and so on and so forth. That's just how these companies work. There's only so much you can do with the base pay, to where you just start taking more and more profits from us and applying it to yourself and paying us less, and just feel like we have to be out here, so we're going to accept whatever it is you throw at me. So like I said, I don't blame it when people have to decline orders. I never push it that you should decline or anything like that. You do what makes sense for you. But I'm just still speaking on DoorDash's end, that there's other things that you can focus on, and it not be about how I'm braking or how I'm accelerating. All your concern should be is that I picked up that order and I got it delivered as fast as I possibly could. And the two parts that I'm saying to this is, you're not paying for my brakes. You're not paying for my maintenance on my vehicle. You're not paying for my gas in my car that I use to accelerate. You're not paying for my car insurance if I choose and I do decide to get in an accident. Not that I'm choosing, but you're not stepping in and taking care of any of that stuff. It'd be a whole different story if you were paying for the maintenance, if you were paying for the gas, and if you were paying for my car insurance. It'd be a whole totally different story, where you can then send these insights and certain safety requirements out, because you have the right to track, because you're paying for these things. But since you're not paying for it, and I mean zero, I don't feel you have a right to even send anything out like that, because it's a concern for all of us. It's more a privacy concern. Now, obviously, if you're dealing with certain drivers that are getting in accidents or whatever it is, you deal with them individually. And if you want them deactivated or you don't want them on your program, then you deal with them individually. But don't make any drivers out here feel like, oh, I'm being watched to a point where I can't even drive accordingly. I can't even drive like I normally drive, because I have to worry about you tracking my braking and my acceleration. You're not even saying like, oh, I'm tracking your speed to make sure you guys are not going over the speed limit. No, you're just tracking how I accelerate and how hard I brake. So I'll leave it there, you guys. If you haven't came across it, and if you have, let me know down in the bottom of the comments how you feel about this. I'm sure most of it is going to be on the negative side about why DoorDash is doing this. A couple of you may have some points. Like I said, you can turn this setting off. Again, it's not to say they won't track you or anything like that. It's not to say they can use this against you in any kind of way, shape, or form. But the way these terms of agreement or terms of service comes out every couple of weeks is like we're clicking the box to sign to something. And I like to say most of us is not reading the 15 pages of just crap that's on those, but those are where the fine print details are, to where things happen. Now they have the right to do it. So it is kind of important to make sure that you read these contracts that we're clicking to sign, because we're so concerned about wanting to sign in, we just click sign and we continue on, not realizing that we may have signed to something that we're unaware of that we're doing, and then we get deactivated by it. So please be aware, take note. It's for educational purposes only, that I'm not telling you one way or another. Something's going to happen, something's not going to happen. I'm just reporting as things come to me or things happen to me. And mind you, I was signed out for a few weeks. I bought a new home, and partially to DoorDash. If I didn't make the money that I made with DoorDash all this time, I wouldn't have been able to buy my home. I bought a brand new home that I've just been furnishing and I've been busy with, so I haven't been able to really drive or do any content or anything like that. But things are kind of slowly getting back together life-wise, so I'm able to get out here a little bit. I just got off work right now, so I'm going to get home and get me in a few orders. Of course, I got to start back with the gold tier. I got to build back up, because I think I'm down to like 30 deliveries or something like that. I don't know. I've done a few the last few days, but I think I'm like at 38 or 40, something like that at this point. So I got to build myself up back to platinum so it can be worth it. And that's pretty much it, but I'll leave you guys at that. Like I said, let me know down below. If you like the video, click like, subscribe, and that's if you like. I'm not requiring you to or making you or anything like that, but I do try to put videos out there that bring some knowledge to you guys, tips and tricks and things like that as we do DoorDash. If you're new to the channel, if you're not, you know how I am. Your boy Simoto. Until next time, peace out.